7. My name is Renata Samuels-Card.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kevin Mendez. Welcome to your home day episode of Sunup on 7. That's a great song to start your day. Thank you so much for welcoming Renata and Anna into your space. Rena's teasing what can they expect on today's show?
We have excitement coming because we're going to be talking about a project that's introducing environmental training across the Caribbean. Let's find out how Belize fits in this context, what we're going to be learning, all the juice about that. But what else do we have?
What else do we have? We have a medical conversation today. Talk about medical procedures. Very interesting.
Very important conversations to understand. If you know it's something that you haven't had before, you don't understand fully about, put your questions in there for us. We also have a lot of range of other dynamic stuff because I have biggest sale of the year happening too as well. Find out all the juices. You know how this works. Put your comments in the comment section. Make a live interactive fun, and respectful, of course.
Yes.
Now they're happening too as well.
Seek the answer that's worth looking for today. Just in time,
and he's here to talk to us
the
about
writing appears on the
show that we're on right now. Tell me.
and I were the first ones to see.
And we're going to be talking about the hush that has been happening
The world
over the
that
weekend.
we see
So
may
please,
seem that will never change. They say, but if you tear down the wall that's blinding us all, you'll see the way today. A place to call your home, a place where you can go. Stand by me.
Muy buenos dias, my beautiful Sunup on 7 family. Welcome to Sunup on 7. It's Wednesday, and thank you so much for welcoming Renata and I into your space. We're very excited about today's episode, and let's get started by having a look at the weather, courtesy of the Belize Met Service.
Good morning. Generally fair weather conditions prevail over the area. The 24-hour forecast is for skies to be sunny with a few cloudy spells today and partly cloudy tonight. Showers or thunderstorms will be isolated with the possibility of a few more occurring mostly over offshore areas this morning and tonight, then over inland areas and the Maya Mountains this afternoon. The winds will continue light and variable, and the sea conditions will be slight. There will be a low tide at 12:26 this afternoon, followed by a high tide at 6:39 this evening. High temperatures today will be around 88 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 92 inland, and 82 up in the Maya Mountains. Low temperatures tonight will be around 76 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 72 inland, and 68 up in the hills. The sun rose at 5:45 this morning and will set at 5:30 this evening. The moon will set at 2:03 this afternoon and will rise at 1:43 tomorrow morning. The outlook for Thursday and Thursday night is for similar weather conditions to prevail. In the sargassum forecast, total sargassum over the area continues to decrease. However, there is still a small chance that a few mats could drift ashore during the next few days. In the tropical weather outlook, at 3 a.m. this morning, Tropical Storm Lorenzo was located near 20.5 north, 45.1 west, or about 1,450 miles west-northwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. Lorenzo was moving to the north at 30 miles per hour, with maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour. This system poses no threat to Belize. And this concludes this morning's weather report prepared by the National Meteorological Service. For additional information, kindly visit our website at nms.gov.bz.
.gov.bz.
And that's our weather update and our view of the Belize City, you know, trying to see if there's a traffic jam.
Yeah,
But
I tell her,
clearly,
the best
yeah.
time. This is
it's
the
a-
best time for the travel.
And the weather is super cool this morning, which
cool
makes
front.
it so nice. Only cool front.
Well,
it's
it's
true.
cool front. My pop. Watch out.
It is beautiful. Yeah.
You know, you see what dog the pass. My goodness. You know how serious
Wow,
it is
right,
even
that's
a lead dog.
hilarious.
Go and even a lead pat liquor, they run around the street.
Yeah, but definitely. But if there's anybody today that is, you know, in diaspora and feeling nostalgic and missing home, we hope that you're able, through our traffic cameras, we're able to take a bit of Belize City, you know, and be like, Belize, beautiful Belize.
Home.
Mhm.
It's home.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, gracias, Houston.
Muy bien, muy bien.
So, with the double coffee,
Yeah.
are you going to be jumping off the roof?
No, not at all.
I know how B gets sometimes. That's why I want to like...
Yeah, so like between coffee and water.
So, question, you're a 1 cup of a day person for coffee?
Yeah, once I'm done with the show, like that's it for coffee for me. Yeah.
Completely, like nothing, not even like those little latte, nothing. Okay, all right. Because I know
Yeah.
some people that can
Yeah.
drink it.
Oh, no. I realize that's not so good for your kidneys. Yeah.
And our health tip for the day, brought to you by Kevin Mendez, is that don't drink too much coffee, guys. Your kidneys will suffer.
That is true. And drink plenty of water.
Drink plenty of water. Even when it's a cool front, it's really important to drink plenty of water. And for some people, don't hold in your pee. Please go and use the bathroom. Please and thank you. But I think these are like tips
There
that
you
people
go.
always
All right,
forget.
all
You know,
right.
like you think that,
That is true.
it's common knowledge, but people forget. You're sometimes super busy, you're doing your stuff, and you forget to do these things that you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So keep your mug or your little water bottle or whatever, drink throughout the day, and let's make sure we're prepared.
Yeah, for the folks that are watching via Facebook Live, let us know where you're watching from, what are you
Yay.
celebrating. We always love to give you shout outs and celebrate with you. But we thank you once more for joining Renata and I today. We're very excited, like I said, for today's episode. So are you ready to start
Let's
Couch Talk?
dive into Couch Talk, because one of the first ones is one that I'm thinking many people are feeling like, what's going to happen? What's going to go down? So, of course, we know that there has been a call for the House meeting this Friday here, too, as well. And, of course, we have to check what's happening, because it's not on the normal
What?
schedule.
Yeah, right.
And we always go by the schedule, Kev. Like, there was a point in time when the leader of the opposition was asking for House meetings. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like, when are we going to have something? And then now we're having surprise ones or ones that are called out of the normal time.
Yeah.
And so we went through the topics and saw exactly one thing that is up for debate, up for discussion, is what's going on when it comes to the government possibly buying over the Fortis shares. As you know, Fortis shares for BL specifically. As you know, BL is owned partially by government with like about 33%, Social Security about 33%, and then Fortis about 33%.
So Fortis has 33%, GOB has 31%,
31.
and Social Security has 32%.
So around the 30 range too,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well,
yeah.
all of them be able to own it. So this has been a big question, a big concern of many people, because if they would buy up the shares from Fortis for BL, that means government would be owning most of the shares and have a larger percentage to move and do things that they would like to do.
Right.
However, BL is not in the best strategic position, in the sense that last year they acquired a $9+ million debt that they're in presently. And then, of course, we're not sure exactly what the numbers look like for this year. It could possibly be more too
That
as
is
well.
true.
So if you would buy up these shares, thinking of how much, first of all, the shares would be sold to you from Fortis, because Fortis, and we go back into, I think, 2014, where there was a time when government tried to buy from the shares from Fortis. It was ranging from over the tens of millions of dollars. So we're looking also at the present situation, 2025. What would these shares cost?
That is true.
Taxpayers would obviously have to pay these shares.
Yeah, it's very important questions that you're asking, Ren. So like, we do not have much details as to like what's going to happen on Friday, but definitely the questions that you're asking as to like how much will the government pay to
If they would pay for this.
Yeah,
'Cause again, it's
if
a
they will
discussion
be
that's
able to
supposed
like
to
take
happen.
over this shares. And the next thing is like, how will they recover the investment made to purchase these shares from Fortis, which again is 33%, and what will happen to the dams that are currently on the property of Fortis for them to sell power to BEL? Very important questions. At the end of the day, it's how much money will get invested and how that will be recovered. So we gotta stay tuned on Friday and see what really transpires at the House of our Representatives meeting to know what are these
How is this
agreements.
going to go down to us all? But of course, people, I think for people that don't listen to the House of
Yeah.
Representatives, this would be an important conversation to look into,
Yeah.
because if it does happen, of course, taxpayers will have to be paying. But beyond that, I think the whole shift of how BL is even operating will change too as well. We know in the past when government owns a specific business entity or so forth, there's a lot of things that can happen in when it comes to bringing in people of their own kind. There's so much things under the sun. Of course, again, just thought of why it's important to listen in to see what are the moves coming forward, possibly from this.
We move on to our next couch talk topic. And yesterday, attorney Oscar Salgado had his hearing at court. Presently, his case is at the Court of Appeal, where he is currently serving a 10-year sentence for abetment to commit murder. He's 1 year into his sentence, and now he's appealing the case, and he's represented by 2 attorneys. And the argument is really interesting to know that he's appealing because there was some evidence that was missing from his case, right? And they're saying, okay, this case is being presented, but there's definitely evidence that needs to be presented for them to be able to properly see, you know, where did he, you know, commit the abetment to commit murder, but also there's other situations that are getting proposed where there's like discussions about his sexual orientation and all of these things, where they're saying maybe he's being targeted also because of this.
You know, it's a really interesting case because at one point it was like very much in the public's mind that this is a done deal, considering they had the recording at that point. And this is one of the prime evidence that is presented and was presented previously in this case, now that the recording for some reason has disappeared, which I also want to look at, Kev, as something really sketchy. For me, how can you have a piece of evidence and then it to disappear afterwards? And this is one of the most influential, important pieces of evidence to tie the whole case together. And these are the things that happen that causes people to feel like what's going on with our justice system? What's going on when it comes to how we keep our evidence, how we secure people that are, you know, people of interest and all these different things. When you're having cases like this happen, it's like, what is protected? What is secured? How am I supposed to feel like justice will be served properly, considering things go missing during a case, important things go missing during a case? So, of course, like you mentioned before, they pushed back the date for the hearing too as well. And what is also interesting is that, you know, like you said, that they are pushing for the appeal. It looks like a better case now with the fact that the recording has not been presented. And so we're going to keep you following up to see what's going on. The reason this case is very big, Salgado has been the first ever attorney that has been able to be, you know, tried in this manner too as well. And so it really kind of lends the lens for what happens with the justice system when it looks at lawyers. We know that Attorney Arthur Saldivar as well as Darrell Bradley are the 2 attorneys that are on the case and doing the case for pro bono too as well. So we'll keep you guys updated on what's going on. Wondering, people are asking the same thing. What's happening with the evidence? Like, how did that go missing? What's going on? There's so much big questions for that, especially again with the importance of the weight that that evidence carried. How? Where was it kept? Why wasn't copies made? I have questions. Anyways, it's Wednesday.
Definitely. Well, let's move on to our next Couch Talk topic, and this is sad news to share, and we extend our condolences to the family of Shamar Faber, who died 7 months after being shot on March, and he was one of the persons that was caught up in a fire. I mean, in an exchange of firearms.
A drive-by in March.
There is no word, you know, from the police if Shamar's death will result in pending murder charges. We know that his mom was, you know, recently brutally murdered, and she. So the family is going through like these tragic situations where the mother was lost, now the son was lost. What we do know is that after he was shot in March, his quality of life deteriorated so much where he was basically living assisted by machines, right? And so like it was a struggle for him to...
He got back, like he was recovering slowly along the line. And that's why it was so surprising to see something happen like this, because the next shot that he received was in the back of a pickup truck. He was driving with some friends and, you know, there was another drive-by and then he got shot with that. The person that got shot, the driver, was able to take them to KHMH, but he was not able to survive that drive and everything because
all of that happened in March.
And so it's just been a lot.
So we move on.